TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Initial thoughts or impressions of the Ultimate Warrior?
Well, I got to spend some time definitely with a warrior. I'm never a person that says negative things about people, because I always look for the good things to say about people. Warrior was definitely a superstar at WWF. I mean, they were definitely doing big things with him. He was definitely over big time. Right. He would come through, and when he would run to the ring, whoa! I mean, another super pop. But, Jim was kind of like a guy that was very, very not warm, kind of standoffish, kind of you couldn't read him at times, and I'll never forget too when I first started with him, and Chief Jay Strongbow was like, "Who do you think he is?" And this is a little good shoot part for us here on this interview. Actually, I was doing a few things in the ring, was kind of a little bit similar to maybe Jim a little bit.
Right. Okay.
But it wasn't similar. And also I had my boots with the fringe,
Right.
And Jim was kind of like, well, this is it's kind of like letting me know, well, this is my kind of thing, and you really can't do this kind of thing. And, and me being concerned out of respect for him, because here's a big star.
Right.
Who am I? And, I went to Chief and said, Chief, am I right? Am I wrong? And Chief like, what are you talking about? No, you just keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
But Chief also worked with Warrior, and he also worked with me. So we had some similarities there, but he's kind of like letting me know, you can't do this. I do this. Only I can do this. But it wasn't nothing exactly the same, because our characters were still two total different characters.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the DVD they produced about the Ultimate Warrior, the self-destruction? How accurate is it? And
well, I never got to spend time with. I've been around the Warrior. I've been in the locker room with Warrior. I've been even out after shows with the Warrior. Spent personal time with the Warrior, being with also Undertaker, and But like I said, he was a very hard person to read, kind of standoffish, and what I've always heard from everyone doesn't mean it's fact. It's just what I've heard. That business-wise, it was just very, very hard to deal with, and after getting a certain amount of success, that he was very, very hard to work with. Now I don't know if that's the truth or the reality, but the bottom line is, hey, he definitely acquired a lot of success at WWF. That's for sure. He always looked phenomenal, always in great shape. Absolutely unbelievable physique, but he was just a guy that was very, very standoffish. It seemed like he was always by himself. I'm a warm person. I like speaking to people. I love people. And, majority of the guys were like that, very, very open and warm. But, I kind of have a check with someone when they're not warm and open. And, hey, how you doing? How's everything? And just having a good time, being a person, more or less.
Gotcha. Two-parter. Do you have any advice for any wrestlers coming up? And do you have any messages for your fans that are watching the DVD?
Number one, as far as guys coming up, learn the business. That's what's happening here with wrestling is don't have a lot of schools that are training guys. And unfortunately, you got a lot of schools out here that they just see it as a business. They don't see it as a trade. They don't see it as the art of professional wrestling. They don't have the respect and the honor of what all the greats and what this business was built on. And they're just seeing, let me take someone's money, let me show them a few moves, and let me certify you as a professional wrestler, or worse than that, you got guys learning how to wrestle in a backyard. Or worse than that, you got guys that don't even go to school.
Right.
And they think you can just get in our business. You got to be kidding me. I mean, come on. I mean, not only do you go out there and you perform in one of the greatest businesses of the world, and you're seen all over the world on live TV, but you're going out there and you're working with someone, and they're putting their trust in your hands.
Yeah.
And our business, you can hurt someone very easily. You can kill someone. You can paralyze someone. And for people not to take that serious makes me realize What's wrong with you?
Right.
You know, you have to take your time and you have to learn the trade. So what I say is get a good school, a good noted school. Just not someone that's wanting to take your money. A good school that's going to teach you about wrestling, going to teach you about chain wrestling, going to teach you about reversals, going to teach you just not high spots.
Right.
Teach you the foundation of professional wrestling, and then add some of those big moves that fans do want to see, and that we all like to have our 1 or 2 big moves.
Right.
Okay. But teach you about the art of professional wrestling, and then teach you what's even more important than that. When they're teaching you psychology about the business.
Right.
Just don't teach you about moves, because moves don't mean anything if you don't know when to do them, or how to do them,
right.
or even if you should do them, or how is the crowd responding? What should be done right now? Do I even need that right now?
Right.
You know? So psychology is so important. And then, you know, the greatest thing is what I tell the young kids, 2 other things. You know, don't forget that no matter who you are, no matter how great you look, that there'll always be someone else who will come to replace you. Always be humble. Always be humble. But more important than that, don't forget about all the legends and the people that paved the way for the business to even exist. Mm-hmm. Wrestling wasn't big, and I see our timing. Wrestling, it wasn't always this big, huge WWE. People paid a price. Vince McMahon paid a price. Hulk Hogan paid a price. You know, building, you know, going from what it was, territories being shut down, families not having any more money, you know, wrestling going to this major, what it is, WWE. You know, there's a lot of prices they pay. And for you not to respect and honor and the history and what people did, that's not right.
Right.
So know how the business evolved. Know who stepped in that squared circle where you're at. Respect and honor those that have passed on and those that are still with us. Because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be in that squared circle today.
Truth.
And as far as Tatanka fans, Tatanka's ready. You could see me. I'm ready to get in the squared circle. I'm ready to do the same thing that I did before. Do battle in the squared circle. I'm in better shape now than I was before. I'm planning on doing greater things than what I did before. I'm not planning on coming back and doing less. I'm planning on coming back and doing greater. I've got more wisdom than I had before. So I'm coming back as a more polished diamond this time. So it's all business to me this time. And I've got a family and a lot of things I'm thankful for. But now the focus is definitely on the squared circle, the battlefield of WWE, and the things that can come out of this. So I'm very excited. The things, what I mean by that, touching other people's lives. Yeah. Letting the Native Americans have another Native American, which they already know, going to be back in the limelight again. Yeah. That's very sacred to them, you know, and to represent a whole nation of people, that's an honor. Yeah. So I'm excited. Right. I'm ready to go.
Great.
TitleMatchNetwork.com